Italy. Watch as we visit 3 regions of this incredible country and experience the culture, food, and history that it has to offer. We arrived at Rome's Fiumicino Airport Friday morning and took the express train into Rome city center. That's my cousin Jamie. She took the trip to Italy with me. The popular cafe and pastry shop, Regoli, was the first stop in Rome. Famous for their cappuccino and signature pastry called the Maritozzo. We had a few hours to kill before we could check into our Airbnb, so we used this time to visit some tourist attractions. At about 1 p.m., we ordered a car to take us to Emma, one of Rome's most popular pizzerias, for lunch. After lunch, it was time to head over to the Airbnb so that we could check in and drop off our luggage. We dropped our stuff off, changed our clothes, and headed right back out into the streets of Rome for the night. When in Rome, it's acceptable to have gelato at any time, even before dinner, so that's what we did. After that delicious gelato from Giolitti, we walked over to Trattoria Gino for dinner. The food here really set the tone for our stay in Italy. Everything was fresh, flavorful, and delicious. I would highly recommend Trattoria Gino for dinner. Just make sure you call in advance and make reservations, because otherwise it's almost impossible to get in here. After dinner, we went to Voodoo Bar for our first taste of Roman nightlife. After a round of drinks, it was time for the entertainment at Voodoo Bar to begin. Day 2 in Italy begins at Roma Termini, Rome's equivalent to Grand Central Terminal. We're taking an hour and 40-minute train ride to the city of Florence in the Tuscany region of Italy. Look. While walking to our first destination in Florence, we stopped in this alleyway to take some photos. This is Florence Cathedral, more famously known as the Duomo. We decided to climb the 414 steps of Giotto's bell tower to get a view of Florence from above. After the cardio workout we received from climbing hundreds of steps, it was time for lunch. I Fratellini is a popular sandwich shop just a 5-minute walk away from Florence Cathedral. Sandwiches are prepared with specialty meats from the Tuscany region on fresh baked Florentine bread. Glasses of wine start at €3.5. We enjoyed our sandwiches while doing a little people watching on this busy Florence street. En route to our next destination, we stumbled on Piazza della Signoria. As we walk through Florence, you can see why this was my favorite city in Italy. Such a visually pleasing place to be. We made it to the wine bar, La Volpe e l'Uva, which translates to foxes and grapes in English. Le Volpe is known for their excellent wine selection and cheese plates. We had a bottle of wine paired with cheeses, breads, and tomatoes for about $40 US. We ended our night in Florence with, you guessed it, gelato. Perché no lived up to its reputation as one of the best gelaterias in all of Italy.
So good. It's so good.
This was unequivocally the best gelato either of us have ever had. With an amazing day trip to Florence behind us, it was time to head back to Rome. On the ride home from Florence, we made friends with an American girl who came out to drink with us that night. We went to Drink Kong, a Japanese street-style influenced bar in the Monte section of Rome. Our Sunday began with a visit to the Roman Colosseum. Because this is the most popular tourist attraction in Rome, we weren't able to secure tickets to go inside. We spent some time walking around the archaeological site, taking pictures, and headed to our next destination. This is Olympic Stadium. We came here to watch the soccer match between Roma and Cagliari. At this point, we had been out all day, without anything substantial to eat. Considering we were already on Rome's northwest side, it was the perfect opportunity for us to check out Rome's Al Taglio, or by-the-cut style pizza. Pizzarium Bonci sells pizza by the slice. You pick your slices based on the toppings you want, and they charge you by the weight. Their incredibly light, airy, and crispy crust is the base. There's always about a dozen options as far as toppings go to suit your tastes. This place exceeds the hype. Hands down the best pizza I've ever had. And if great pizza wasn't enough, Bonci sells wine by the glass for €250. With day 3 in the books, it was time to head to the Airbnb and call it a night. For the last day of our trip, we hired a driver to take us to southern Italy. Our first stop was the ruins of Pompeii. We spent a couple of hours exploring this thriving city that ancient Romans built before Mount Vesuvius erupted and decimated this entire society. It's like claustrophobic, but it's okay.
Eine Viertelstunde. Rechts auszupokeln. Wir haben eine Viertelstunde.
After Pompeii, we hit the road and headed towards the Amalfi Coast. We stopped at the coastal town of Sorrento. We walked down the Sorrento stairs to take in the views of the waterfront. we got back on the road to visit the nearby town of Positano.
Baby, that's close. Baby, come close to me. Don't create borders. Take me in comfortably. Don't be difficult. Baby, girl, who hurt you? Don't be miserable. Baby, let me love you. Baby, that's close. Baby, come close to me. Don't create borders. Take me in comfortably. Don't be difficult.
On the way to Amalfi, from Sorrento, we stopped at La Conca Azzurra. It's a restaurant, bar, and convenience store all in one, with phenomenal coastal views. This is Amalfi. We walked through downtown Amalfi and checked out the buildings and some of the shops. After spending half the day at the Amalfi coast, it was time to head back north.
Vai, 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 vai. Vai. Vai, tranquila, vai, vai. Vai, 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 vai.
Our driver expertly and aggressively navigated the narrow, windy roads of this highway. At the recommendation of the driver, we stopped at Mi Caro Ristorante for dinner. Fortunately for us, our last meal in Italy was also our best meal. As our Italy trip comes to an end, we make our way back to the airport via the express train. Italy was the trip of a lifetime, literally. Its visuals were breathtaking, its people were inviting, and its food was exceptional. Italy left me wanting more as I glided across the Atlantic Ocean, headed towards JFK.